So pillar number one, I would describe this, and it has been described as others, as your inner critic. I suffered terribly through this. This was my worst symptom all the way through everything, was that I felt that I destroyed my life. I didn't deserve to be happy. I'd had everything and I'd just thrown it all away. You might as well give up. It got so bad to the point that I actually wouldn't feed myself for days because I felt that I was unworthy and that I needed to be punished. A chance conversation with a friend of mine, Andrea, who was very spiritual, she asked me a very strange question, and she said, is it a feeling or is it a voice? And I actually said to her, it is actually a voice. It's something that's involuntary that I do hear in my head. Usually not a good sign. I've always been brought up to think about hearing voices. And she said, well, yeah, that's your inner critic. And she explained that it's just a survival mechanism, that the body just decides that to stop you from possibly getting hurt or making bad decisions, it tries to stop you from actually doing anything. So I just thought, well, what do I do? And she said, right, this is what you have to do. And I'm going to recant, even though it's going to sound completely crazy, what I did and the effect it had. I was ready, and I was waiting for this voice, my inner critic, to pop into my head, and I was ready. The gloves were on. And I can't remember exactly what it said to me, but it was one of those usual negative things. Oh, well, you stuffed your life up now, or you deserve to be unhappy. I physically turned around on the spot, and it's probably important that I was on my own at this point. Now, I turned around on the spot and said, hey, stop. Nobody knows more than you what I've been through for these last few years, and all you do is keep kicking me, slapping me, punching me and putting me down. How about you turn that around and you just start supporting me? Just once. In my mind, I visualized this inner critic was me, and I saw me taken aback and cowed. I saw my head, and I just went into this tirade. Everything that I'd held inside got thrown at this inner critic. All of a sudden, I felt this weight lift, like I've put you in your place. From that day onwards, my inner critic had gone. I now had my inner best friend. That if I was having a bad day, this little voice would say, oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Take the day off. Go and get an ice cream. Just very simple, easy procedures, but it took me, something that had been traumatizing me for many years, I turned around in one tirade in probably less than a minute. Now, I would suggest, if anybody else is going to try this, maybe make sure you're at home and don't do this in the middle of the office or something, because it's probably not the best look, but it worked tremendously for me. It can occasionally start to creep back in if you have prolonged feelings of feeling down, but all you do is you just, and it remembers its place. It is there to help you. Don't forget, in the first place, it was there trying to help me, but that message just got skew-whiffed. It was trying to stop me from taking chances, but all it did was make me feel that I was absolutely worthless. Now I know that I'm not.